April 4th, 1968, Martin Luther King is assassinated in Memphis. Riots explode in over 100 cities across America. Cleaver sees the moment of black revolution as having arrived.
We say, bring it on. If you want war, let there be war. This is what we're saying. Is that clear?
On the night of April 6th, he appears in Oakland with an armed caravan of Panthers, including 17-year-old Bobby Hutton, the party's first recruit.
In a shootout with police, Hutton had holed up in this basement with Eldridge Cleaver, the party's Minister of Information. Cleaver came out of the house stark naked, defenseless. Hutton ran, police said, and died.
Bobby Hutton came out with his hands in the air and was gunned down by this racist pig department of Oakland.
We found out that he was dead and Eldridge was arrested. We went back down to the house where it happened. There were so many bullet holes in that house, and of course there was blood all over the street. And it was the most sickening sight I ever saw.
I walked through, it's just eerie. It's not a police action, okay? It was war.
The Black Panther Party is now under siege. Community empathy swells during Hutton's funeral, which is attended by thousands, including Marlon Brando, signaling the growing support of Hollywood figures.
That could have been my son lying there. And I'm going to do as much as I can. I'm going to start right now.
Eldridge Cleaver is now in prison, charged with assault and attempted murder on police.
It was pretty devastating. That doesn't look like a person who's going to get out, but he did.
He was freed by a Superior Court judge who said Cleaver was held not as a criminal, but because of his political beliefs.
The judge's decision stuns law enforcement. Cleaver is released in June on $50,000 bail. The Peace and Freedom Party nominate him for President of the United States, and he emerges fired up to confront the entire California white establishment.
Don't call me nigga.
And I want to thank Mickey Mouse and Ronald Reagan.
Here comes this man that had the nerve to call, the governor of California, Mickey Mouse Ronald Reagan.
And I have a special little word for Ronald Reagan in the morning. You, Ronnie, baby.
And then challenge Ronald Reagan to a duel.
I challenge the punk to a duel to the death, and he can choose his own weapons. Could be a gun, a knife, or marshmallow. I'll beat him to death with a marshmallow.
And he occupies the kind of place in pop culture that someone like a Tupac, almost like a 50 Cent, Eldridge did that and then some because there was political purpose behind it.
Cleaver's fiery rhetoric brings the Panthers' national attention. His derogatory term for the police becomes a potent anti-establishment slogan.
Huey called them racist dog police. Eldridge is the one that started calling them pigs.
Specifically, it was coined about the police and then expanded to the greedy, avaricious pig businessmen and the fascist pig politicians. And that fired the imagination of people who just thought that we just had to take it.
It's common speak, this F the police comes long before NWA's song.
What Eldridge did was put the Black Panther Party on the map. He was the person who had the what you would call now the media strategy. He envisioned this as a national revolutionary movement, and it became a national revolutionary movement.
In July, Huey's trial opens in Oakland. Thousands of demonstrators gather outside to chant their support.
Black is beautiful.
To white America, we were a nightmare. Very frightening to see men and women talking about all power to the people, death to the pigs.
The revolution has come. Off the pigs. Time to pick up the gun. Off the pigs.
To see these black teenagers in black berets and black leather jackets out on the courthouse steps chanting Free Huey, this was quite spectacular for young black people, so they loved it.
Off the pigs.
Black America is emboldened by the Panthers. Tommy Smith and John Carlos raised their fists at the 1968 Olympics. James Brown sings Say It Loud, and the world is listening.
Say it loud.
James Brown doesn't say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. unless you have a movement that kind of like comes before it. It ignited this quest for being at least a little bit intellectual, but also at the same time not taking no. And that was a rough pill for America to swallow.